Well, everyone, we're back. How's it going? I'm Hambbage, and whew, that was a big old break after that last episode. My goodness, wow. As I said in that video, let me know anybody else experienced one like that where you drop through the end portal and keep on dropping only to then be respawned. Woo! Never need to see that happen again. Anyway, we've still got our world. And now we have a dragon egg too. So we kind of talked about it. Took up a bunch of the time fighting the dragon and getting established here. Got a few things to do now. It's weird. Too weird. Okay, this is I think our side. They're already starting getting ready to be troublesome. Yeah, there you go. Don't you worry. We'll save plenty of time to take out a bunch of Endermen. Just not right now. Fortunately, this part is relatively stress free because we're not going to be out over the void. Now, what I don't know, what I didn't really calculate, is how this is going to align exactly. Yeah, it'll be fine, right? I think we're off to the side enough. Oops, need that. Just don't want to be reckless throwing the view around with all those Endermen underneath us. Okay, now we're at level. Seeing as how we are. Go out. That. Very careful as you have to do the 2, 3, 4, 5. The repositioning of the crosshair there. Alright, and 5 more here. Ooh. I don't like you. Oh, and I think we'll go. And 2 more. Scary turny part. seems all good and set up. Fortunately, we don't have a big exposure to the void here, but I think we'll do one of these anyway, just to savor the savor the fact that we're here. We're not in the void. There. Lovely little stair in space. Okay, so we are now set. This is our portal. This will take us out into the distant surrounding area of the void. And that's where our end cities will be. It's where shulkers are going to live. We can get boxes, we can get wings, all that good stuff awaits. So we'll definitely want to make full use of that. However, we've got a very, relatively full inventory. We used a lot of stone, but still full enough and loaded up on stuff that we don't particularly need anymore that I think we'll go ahead and... Now, what am I going to do here? I don't think I want to go up this high. Now, many of you have probably seen some variation of a endermite baited Enderman farm here in the end, and I'd still really like to make that happen, but as you guys probably know, we've been working hard to set up our own little operation here, and do that. Don't have a whole bunch of resources yet, so we're going to do this instead. And anyone who's watched our older videos knows this is This is called Enderman farming on the cheap. Really effective. There's no complaints or problems there. But not not nearly the setup that you can have once you're intentionally breeding and harvesting and dumping pearls and all that kind of stuff. We're not at that level, but this will be our stopgap to the darkroom spawner, and is really pretty comparable to it in terms of XP. And you guys can let me know which ones you prefer to hang out at. I think the darkroom spawner is going to give us another big advantage, which will be the ways that I hope to use that space when we're waiting for the mobs to generate and fall. Not to mention that those are also one-shot kills, so you do get quicker turnaround there. But this is going to give us the boost of the Enderman XP, which is, I think, higher than the creepers. So it's all a little bit of a trade-off. Now, just because I don't like things just levitating, I'm going to give some extra support legs here. And increase this space just a little bit. In the past, we've done this on larger towers, so we get a little bigger area from which to fight them. What we don't want is to pool up our Enderman too much. We also don't want to wander out into their general crosshairs. So now, why don't we do... I think I'm going to do this here, because these are not tower blocks. So I think that will be safe as we go. We can put that away. Put these away. Don't need that, certainly. Really don't need to do a whole lot of repairing, so we'll just kind of show this off as is, get that pick up. So now all we need to do from our little bunker here is go way low now. Remind me of that. It's still way too loud. There we go. All right. Now that none of us have to worry about going completely deaf, so a little bit of a false or a bad example, I guess, because we don't have many levels to gain. Now, can I grab you guys, or are you too far away? This is where our whole landscape thing is just a mess on this island. Oh, watch that edge. Yeah, this isn't going nearly as well. Now, did XP balls end up way out there, or do we just get none if they died of fire? This whole sword for these guys is a bad scene right now. Definitely think we want to make a non-fire version just for Enderman, because we saw when we were out in the desert too. They start teleporting around when they take damage. Um, and I think that more than the spawning. The spawning seems all right. We don't, we can work on the terrain a little bit to be able to see more clusters of them. Um, we're just, well, maybe it's being up at level 65, but I mean, look at our pick still hasn't even repaired yet. That seems slow. But I got a whole bunch. Nice surprise. This is what I was worried about, is that we're losing XP all over the place here. And it was enough to get our pick repaired. Well, anyway, that at least is there if we need to do some quick tools or grab a couple quick levels, especially if we're at the bottom end. Right now we got 65, so that's going to slow things down a little bit. Um, but yeah, if we need to quickly fix up a tool or something like that, we've got this in between. Leaves a lot to be desired. Okay, so next up, we have we want to get through the staircase that we just built way out over there to go look for end cities and shulkers and all the goodies that we have, elytra and the shells to make boxes, all that good stuff. But with our inventory as it is, I want to make that trip absolutely ready to be maximized. So we're going to head back, and this may take us to spawn, which I guess, you know what, we should do a couple things here that I'm about to goof up on, or was about to. So we have no bed. We left the bed at um, the portal area, but I think I broke it and then reset it. So we're very likely about to go back to spawn and then have no boat, no bed, and have to get all the way back over to our base again, trying to retrace our steps. I don't think that's a bad or formidable challenge or anything like that, but it's inconvenient, and we don't want to be completely maxed out on stuff while we're doing that. Um, yeah, it's a shame. However, while we're here, let's... Oh, that's all level. I don't know. Let's just go. So, I was talking a little bit about end credits way back, and this has now been modified. But this used to be, it's the end, right? You fought the end dragon, won, beat the end. This is how you rolled credits on the game, just like old arcade games. Or if you beat the game, it would roll the credits, and you could see. It is a long and convoluted metaphysical type deal. I definitely recommend that you guys check it out on. And here we are back at spawn. Just as we feared. At least it's daytime now. No. Okay. We... I think ended up in these trees. See how well I remember this. This was 70 episodes ago, so it's been a minute all of a sudden. But I think... Nope, I thought wrong. There's a coast somewhere, and it's the coast that we need to get to. Maybe up by this mountain. Because we'd run around, we punched a few trees. We thought this looked decent, but it at that point didn't have any access to water. What I can't remember is how far. Ooh, maybe that was something we did? Or no, this is just the sheep. No, it's all taiga too. Come on. Um, that's not how I remembered it. Negative 34, negative 2285. So this way and this way. A lot more that way than this way. What ways are these? Southeast. All right. The east part, I recalled. At least that's what it seemed to me in my memory. The south bit, that would have been a lot of guessing before I got to that direction. Remember, we rode in the boat for quite a while chasing the coastline looking for a good base spot. Now, we can kind of just go on the coordinates. Hey, there's goats. We don't have a boat. Oh, we may need a boat. But let's, check this stuff out. Goats and llamas? Did we already get our goat in a boat here? Oh, I don't have any tools. Okay, look, this is... We should at least modify here a little bit. Get our tools out. Pretend like we... ready to survive. So this is gonna slow up our little end city adventure a little bit. I wasn't 100% sure if we'd slept again after the bed or not. Looks like we didn't. Um, but yeah, now we get the fun of combat. And who knows? Game might surprise us with something awesome. Yeah, we sure didn't start going this way. Or if we did, I've totally. I just remember I left a coordinate as like the first camp or something like that, where I slept on this kind of like high plains. There's a pocket of forest. It's kind of surrounded by plains, and I thought that's where we had started. And then, um, we did the punching trees and got enough sheep to, wow, beautiful, enough sheep to make a bed. Called it good, and then the next day took to the seas to go see what we could find for a base. And the rest, as they say, is history. But oh man, all right, come on. This should be fun to try to climb back up. Don't think I grabbed out the water bucket to try that new trick that I was watching somebody demonstrate a while back. Still have yet to use. Really cool for the mountains, though. You you take your water bucket and basically just reach up, start a waterfall, ride it up, and grab your bucket of water. It's so simple, it's brilliant, and I'm assuming people have been doing that forever. I totally missed out. All right. Are we still going the right way? More or less. Now all the Endermen will show up. Now that we don't need them and have an endless supply of pearls. Forest, I'd kind of like to stick to the mountains as we work through the night here, at least. If possible. How are we looking on? Come on. Why are both of these going up? when we absolutely wanted them to go down. How's that even possible? I knew I didn't remember mountains, though. Okay, that deals with that. Don't recommend doing this with your coordinates up. Really bad way. But I don't know how we got turned around. I was looking. I was intentionally trying to. $19. Nope, now we're going. Oh, can't see anything. Uh, oh, you jerk. Still going down. That's all I can hope for now. But as Obi-Wan tried to tell Anakin, trying to take the high ground from somebody who's defending it is kind of a tall order. Alright. Now, I could just kill all these sheep and only travel out the day, but that's not how we're gonna roll, right? Man, I just don't want to look at that anymore. But I think we're now like just getting back to where we originally goofed all this up. Such a mess. Yeah, this seems familiar. Did that from the other side. Maybe. Still going down. Still going down. Oh, what a mess. Get me out of here. This is why we want to lock in that portal. Okay, still going down. If we can get the X to like negative 30 to 50-ish, then we just turn north and go. And while the number part, I still don't quite understand. This makes more sense to the way I understood our base to be oriented with the sea and how we'd approached it and everything initially. Okay. Now we just go north. Ooh, there's some water though. Take me down, but not down into the lava. I don't really want to go the wrong way. Hey, we're almost down to 0. Then we've only got 2,200 blocks to go. Ah, come on. Ugh. Tree, you're begging for it. There's something outside that sounds just like somebody just like revving their engine like crazy. I don't know if it almost sounds like a car just idling with their AC going or something, except that it's like super high rev. Very strange. Come on. Go, go, go. Oh, no. No. Ferns. Alright, this is some speedy. Well, we've drifted a little bit to the west. Well, that's okay. Got lucky with that jump. These planes can really speed us up. Ooh, now we got sirens. I don't think the two are related. Lots of sirens. Ooh, and a horn. You guys getting any of that? I don't know. Seems pretty loud to me. Quarter of the way since we got to 0. We can do it. How we doing here? 42. We can do this. Come on. Run. Here I naively thought, oh yeah, we'll be working on getting the portals linked, which is kind of. It took us an episode to get to our base. Kind of 1.5, right? We had to get started, get squared away, and all that, and then really do the searching. And it was by the end of the second episode that we're kind of established and like, yep, this is where we're going to build our home. So I thought if we got to the same water that we'd followed, which I think is now this coastline. What's this desert all about, though? Um, that we could then just kind of cruise. All right, yeah, you got to follow the coastline, but now you're not stopping everywhere to look. You're just going, and that can speed things up. So can desert running. Savannah, B. This is the one time I don't want to see desert temples at all. Just get me across it. Alright, we're almost to 1,000, guys. I think we can. Ourselves a break from that for a minute. Of course, now that we are not near trees, but we did take that spruce log. Let's hope for dolphins first. As we can move pretty good swimming, especially if we pick a couple Dolphins Grace bonuses as we go. They're squid, not dolphins. There's a dolphin when you need one. They're always making me zip around when I'm trying to build something or place blocks. Now when you just want to cover a bunch of distance, not a dolphin to be seen. Shake off like a dog. toughest part of all this is that we are coming back towards the forest side. Let's see if we can get up and what's over here? More foresty stuff. I think this is probably going to be the edge of our whatever desert we have, and will probably pull us more off course than it's worth. Ooh, there's water. I so hope I have these coordinates right. Fish. Dolphin's grace. Ooh, I crashed. Okay, this is the forest, but let's try. I'm guessing we're getting pretty close. So, it's a little run through the woods, right? Some of this may be Salmon River. That's maybe an awful idea. Stop! Can't keep up with me. Don't try. It's a cow. Come on. Come on. There. It's like a beacon. It's calling to us. Ha ha ha. Ooh, creeper. What was that all about? Oh, don't get stuck. Don't get stuck. Out we go. Oh. Alright, dog perimeter. Keep me safe. Whew. Home sweet home. Alright, first thing. Options. We like it about there. What have we got in here? We want to keep the stone. Well, I don't even know yet. I think that's kind of more for future decisions. Let's go. Put those away. That away. Now, we don't need strength, and maybe we'll keep one regen, but we want maybe a couple of those. And then over here, do a couple of those. Oh, don't. Okay, I've got salt, stone. I know, they're all growly. So growly. Don't think we need golden apple. Let's sleep. Get that respawn. And where are we at? 52. Let's check it. When I say that, I mean the coordinates of our end portal. This is really the end stronghold. Not the end portal. And now that is... Sorry again for not having this up in front of you guys, but anybody who knows my track record knows I'm really bad at getting stuff out of your vision when I have done. Alright, so we have, let me just check that. 124. 6. So we got negative 48 and negative 266. That is our... That's our target. Alright, let's check you guys. Make sure I'm not muted. There's nothing in front of the screen here. Got all those levels to spend, but I think with the time we have... And I don't have nearly enough of this. It's the new style. You know what? Now that I say it, I'm not gonna have enough time to, even if I get out there to arrange it, because we're probably now at like 54. I think we're ready for it. But let's just come up here and see if we can't spend some of these levels. Does that sound like a better plan? Oh, I don't even have room for a book. Oh, just so... It's such a mess. Absolute filthy, horrible mess. No! What are you doing? We're enchanting. Okay. Power 4, maybe. It's pretty good. Silk. It's only cost us 6, so I don't care about silk. And the book this is the big drum roll. We don't need power 4 anymore, at least not pressingly. Perfect. Now, we still have a ton more to do, but Unbreaking 3 and Power 4, Punching, those two combined, that's most of what we have here. We're just going to throw on Infinity at the end. So, very good stuff there. Can we group these to remember them? And I guess we'll just... maybe. I wish I remember what our price on Power 5 was. Yeah, I don't. Why do I want Power 4 when I think we have Power 5? I don't know what. Um, what we should do. No, here. No, here. Come on. We just talked about how the one thing we kind of need is a sharp 5 looting sword without flame, right? I think that's our next top deal. Well, does that even matter anymore now? I mean, we need pearls. We need, yeah, I guess for the XP, at least in the time being. Without the flame, it would help. Here's what I'm thinking. This is kind of crazy. Without rolling, I can't think of stacked books that are going to give us more than what we already have or want, I think. I didn't mean to hit save and quit, but it's 59:40, so we'll do it. That kind of ended in a mess, and I apologize. I was getting back to the base was obviously the first thing. We ran out of time. The next steps are, and we got a lot accomplished. Don't get me wrong. Getting the stairs up to the End City portal done, getting that whole thing, getting the setup done for the Endermen to get more XP. That's a good one. Getting home and getting the base established is huge. I mean, we were just stuck needing to do that. I'm sorry it went so badly, but we made it. Everything's fine. So all good there, and those were our main next objectives. Next, we have to link the portal that we have at the end portal in the Nether, so that we don't have to walk back and forth anymore. Our regular base is there, and we're at 30 seconds, and maybe be a minute to load both portals and get through to go to the end, as opposed to, even though it's close, running through the woods and trying to find it and go back downstairs and find our way through the stronghold and all that stuff. Don't need to do it, so why bother? So we're going to link that portal as our next job. After that, or probably before it, honestly, because I've got all the stuff there in my inventory, I'll need to go back and check the librarians and see. As I was going, I'm getting confused. Do we have Power 5? I know we have Infinity. Obviously, we have Unbreaking for bows. what all do we have set up, or what don't we have? As far as our tools, we can just buy everything, stack it, and go, and not even worry about it. It's now set. So we could just spend all our levels applying books to the tools we have. We got 65, and it's crazy from my side. It takes so much to get those levels right now. It feels crazy not to roll them on the enchanting table. But if we're just rolling books, we're not going to get multiple stacked enchantments that can go anyway. So we'd just be hunting for stuff we don't have for sale yet. And honestly, I don't know that there's that much stuff that we need or don't have. We could buy sharpness 5, looting 3, unbreaking. Um, we wouldn't have knockback or anything like that. We wouldn't have. Well, we could have sweeping edge on it actually, but we could basically make a farm sword uh, that has all the stuff we need and none of the stuff we don't care about, like knockback, like flame or fire aspect. I'm sorry, just out of purchased stuff. So that's very possible. But it's just a matter of spending all the levels to stack it up. The other thing then is that we have tools to build and can go through, make another shovel, make another silk touch pick, get all those set up because we're gonna, as soon as we have shulkers, then we can start going. So much stuff to do. That fortune axe, all that kind of stuff. So does that make more sense, or what else is it that we're missing until we get like tridents and all that kind of stuff? So we'll figure all that out. And now I've talked you guys into a long episode here, and I apologize for that. I've had a blast. I know it's kind of a let down from a dragon fight and a fall into the void that wasn't, and all that good stuff. But I'm glad you guys are here with me. I hope you're still enjoying and the chaotic runs back through the night to get back to base. We made it. It always feels wonderful to find your way home. And if this episode teaches us anything, that's why to jot down the coordinates of your base, so you don't have to just plug them in, make sure you're headed in the right direction, and go for it, because it's easy to forget what you've done in the past in Minecraft. So other than that, take care, guys. Have a good break. I think this is going to do it for me. Lots of fun and lots of good episodes here today. I think we laid out very clearly what we're going to be doing in the near future, figuring out how we're going to spend these levels first, and then linking up portals so we can go back to the end eventually. That's the big plan. You guys take care until the next one. Take care of yourselves and one another. Get outside and move your body a little bit between now and then. And we'll see you when we see you. Bye now.